Today we're making celery powder. I'm using store-bought celery because celery doesn't grow well in our area. I'm gonna pull each piece apart and I'm gonna rinse it all. Now that my celery stalks have been rinsed, we're gonna cut them. I cut them in half and then I turn them and cut them long ways into sticks. And try to get them roughly evenly sized. They don't have to be perfect. And I'm going to set these aside into a bowl. And I'll finish cutting all of these and I'll be right back. Now that we have all of our celery cut into sticks and they're evenly sized, roughly, we're going to lay them into the dehydrator. We have a bowl of scraps off to the side. Those aren't going to be thrown away. Those are going to feed our animals or go into our compost bucket and eventually into the compost bin. We try not to waste anything. You want them evenly sized so that they dry evenly in your dehydrator. If you have huge chunks of celery and then some small pieces, then they won't dry evenly and you'll have some that are finished way sooner than others. So that's why we cut them the way we cut them. Some people like to just kind of toss their sticks or celery pieces just in whatever arrangements onto the trays. I arrange mine kind of neater. I find that I can fit more on each tray this way. But you do it however you see fit, whatever works for you. I'm gonna put these into the dehydrator. I normally put them in at night so that the noise from the dehydrator isn't running throughout the middle of the day while we have company here, or somebody's watching TV, things like that. But you can run them day or night, it doesn't matter. I put in a batch last night at around 10 o'clock and we went to bed. I took them out at 7 o'clock this morning. So about 8 to 9 hours that they're gonna run in the dehydrator. Possibly a little bit less, but you want them dry and crispy. Now that we have our celery placed on the trays, put the lid on and we're gonna plug in the dehydrator. This one doesn't have an on-off switch or anything like that. This is a Presto Dehydrator that I purchased from Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description below. Plug it in and it's on. Last night I ran some celery through the dehydrator from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So about 8-9 hours. This is what it looks like. This is 2 full bunches of celery done. You know they're finished when they crunch. You can hear them. They're really dry. Next step, we're gonna put them into my Ninja blender. I have one of these. You don't have to use this brand. Any food processor or coffee grinder, anything that you can use to just break them up and powder them. I've heard a coffee grinder would actually work better because it would powder it a little bit better. But this works good enough for what I need. All right, now we're gonna put the blades on. And we're gonna put it into the blender once we plug it in. And if you guys are interested in one of these Ninja blenders, I will add the link to the description below. I give it a little shake just to knock them down near the blades. always kind of look at it when it's done to make sure I don't have too many big pieces. And if you have a couple of big pieces, just put it in there and run it a few more seconds. All right, I'm gonna use these small half pints. They're more of a squatty jar than the taller ones, but I like these because they have the wide mouth lids. It's easier to get the powder in and out of it for use. Open it slowly because it is a little dusty. And then just kind of jiggle the lid to not get any powder loose. And then I pour it directly into my jar. And that's it. That's 2 full bunches of celery from the store turned into a powder. Now you can use this powder for anything you would use celery for. I like to use it because some of our family members don't like chunks of celery because of the texture. They don't like it. This works. You get the flavor of the celery without the big chunks in it. Also, buying celery from the store, a lot of times I only use 1 to 2 stalks at a time. Then the rest of it sits in the refrigerator and goes bad. This way I can preserve the entire bunch of celery pretty much forever. Put the lid on and store in your spice cabinet. Pull the rubber band off.